All right.
Hi.
Oh, good to see you. Are you
Yeah,
in the office? I can see you're, is that right? In your office there?
yeah.
Right. Great, Shirley. That's fantastic. Wow. And yeah, how long do you have? Do you have, are you on duty at the moment? On your
Um,
work
yeah,
duty? Mm.
yeah. Uh, Now, I'm waiting the patient, so I have a little free
It's
moment.
good. Fantastic. Well, that's great. I mean, we'll just go with it, Shirley. Obviously, just say when, if you have to go, that's perfectly fine. And I, by the way, happy Dragon Boat Day.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
so you're working today, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. And I guess with Dragon Boat, can I ask you, is it postponed? That means, is it actually, are there any Dragon Boats or is it cancelled? Cancelled.
Mm,
Is Dragon Boats cancelled this year? Is it
yeah.
Dra-
Uh, many, a lot of campaign they were cancelled.
Oh, I see. What a shame. Because of the
Mm,
coronavirus, isn't it? You know, actually, Shirley, we've got the Delta, a Delta variant.
mm,
This is a type of coronavirus.
mm.
It's it's 60% more serious. Yeah, so it's 60% more infectious. 60,
Oh,
yeah, 60% in the UK. That means spreading really quickly in the UK now, Shirley, again. So we may be going into another phase. Oh, gosh.
mm.
Anyway, what we have to do, I hope you're keeping your spirits up, Shirley. You know, it's keep smiling because it's tough. Have you had any zongzas today?
Oh,
Oh,
you
look at those. Different zongzas. Have you seen any different zongzas? Is it zongza? Is that how it's say?
don't.
Zongza, thank you. Sorry. Rice dumpling.
Mm,
Sticky rice dumpling, isn't it? Sticky. Have you had any today? Sticky rice.
mm.
Are they good for your teeth? Sticky rice dumplings, are they okay for teeth?
Yeah.
Right. I hope your customers have cleaned their teeth before coming to the dentist.
Yeah, I
No zongs are in there. Okay, right.
yeah,
Wow, so many. Anyway, so many different ones. Wow, I don't know what this is. I think from China. Have you
mm,
seen anything like this before? Like a zongzi?
no, wow.
I don't know what they are. I think they're really broadening it out now. This is Starbucks. Starbucks in, I don't know if it's, maybe not in Taiwan, I guess,
Mm,
but they're really cashing in on different ice, well, not dumpling, but the shape, different ones, coffee, all sorts, peach. But anyway, Shirley, happy Zongzi Day. Happy, sorry, Dragon Boat Day.
mm.
Oh yes, and I think Melissa is doing a feature on dragons tomorrow. So something similar to Dragon Boat Day. Anyway. Right. Okay. Different presentations. Shirley, these are just some phrases that goes on with presentations.
Mm,
Some interesting ones there. But I'm just wondering, as time might be short,
mm,
let's just have a look. If I open this dialogue, what we have here is, this is from the Cambridge side and so some of the Cambridge materials brought over. They tend to do more detail side of it, but what we want to do is focus just on the dialogue itself. So I've been working with the Cambridge guys, and we have some basic phrases to be aware of. So this is outlining your talk, objectives, to outline a presentation content, to explain a presentation objective, and to encourage questions if you want, okay, to bring out questions. So maybe we can do this. If I read a sentence and then you follow, Shirley.
Okay.
Are you okay? That sounds good. Right. So of course, use your name, Shirley. You're there. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Hello, my name's Hector, and I'm a trainer for Apex Systems.
Hello, my name's Shirley, and I am a trainer for Apex Systems.
The goal of today's presentation is to introduce you to Nexus.
The goal of today's presentation is to introduce you to Nexus.
Great. This is a software solution that provides email, file sharing, and other communication tools for businesses.
This is a software solution that provides email, files sharing, and other communication tools for businesses.
Well done. Since your company is planning to purchase and install our software, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about it.
Since your company is planning to purchase and install our software, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about it.
Yes, that's right. Since your company is planning to purchase and install our software. Great. So as you can see, it's extremely user-friendly and flexible.
As you will see, it's extremely user-friendly and flexible.
So basically, at the moment, Shirley, it's like it's in the background, and I'm just saying, as you can see, it's extremely friendly and flexible. I will begin by explaining how to set up your account. Then I'll look at some specific functions, and finally, I'll discuss customization. Okay.
I will begin by explaining how to set up your account. Then I will look at some specific functions, and finally, I will discuss customization.
Well done. Customization. Like to try that again? Customization.
Customization.
Great. Specific?
Specific.
Well done. Once you get the hang of it, once you get familiar, once you get the hang of it, you will find that Nexus will save time, make your job easier, and improve your productivity.
Once you get the hang of it, you will find that Nexus will save time, make your job easier, and improve your productivity.
Great, well done. By the time I'm finished today, you should be ready to use all the essential functions.
By the time I finish it today, you should be ready to use all the essential functions.
If you are unclear about anything, please feel free to ask any questions at any point.
If you are unclear about anything, please feel free to ask questions at any point.
Right, okay, Shirley, just say this one again.
Finished.
Finished? Finished, yes? Finished, yes. There's actually, come to think of it, there is something I need to share with you there with the ED, the pronunciation of that. I have that, where's that reference pronunciation, English, English ED pronunciation. Right. Okay. I've got a an actual. Sorry, I'm trying to find out where it is. Okay, this one there's actually a chart. I have a chart with ED, and there's different ways to do this. There's the chart I have. I'll tell you what. I'll find the chart, Shirley, and I'll put it into the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
But what it is that this is the chart which is helps you with the ED pronunciation. Notice this H here. If there's a certain number of certain letters, and that when the word finishes with H, and there's other ones, then you have a T sound. So finished, or finished.
Finished.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think where that might be. Pronunciation. ED. Pronouncing, sorry, ED. I might have it here. That's right. It's quite an interesting one here. I have a more clearer version, but if I open this up, I'll just give you an overview here. I'll open this up there for you. Right, Shelley, what it is that if it ends with, in this case, finished, what you said was finished, okay, and it's a very, very common pronunciation awareness thing, is that, Shirley. The idea is if it finishes with an H or like that, washed or finished, then it's a T sound. These all have the T sound. So if the letter ends with a P or a K, like looked, then it's a T sound. So if you've got all these letters at the end of the word, then that means it's a T sound. And if it's like wanted, needed, then it's an id sound. So if the word ends with a T or a D, then it's an id at the sound at the end. And if it ends with a L, N, R, G, V, S, Z, the then claimed, then it's a like a little bit of air, D, or voiced. They call it like a voiced sound, so claimed, rubbed. So the D. And this one is a T. So T sound is a bit more like the air coming out to make it easier to say. So I've got a better version of this, but I'll share that in the WhatsApp group afterwards. So you could use that for your reference. Shirley, you're welcome to just download it and just as a referral. But generally well done. Great. So this is an introduction. How are you doing for time, Shirley? Are you okay for a few more minutes? Okay. Okay, great. So you're just waiting for customers to come. They're coming through. It's great. Okay, then. Right. So this one here's another one. Describing the structure of your presentation. You probably noticed these are quite similar. As you can see, I'll begin by explaining, then I'll look at, and finally. So these are just the summary of ways in which to describe a summary of what you're going to say. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Another example is sometimes in part one, or firstly, followed, part two, or lastly. It's another way to do this, and there will be plenty of time for questions at the end. So this is another way to describe the structure of your presentation. So I think it's quite good. I would normally go through the video, but those are just general phrases that we will be touching on as we go through this this course. But it's just for early reference. But I think it's quite good to do this presentation. So describing the structure of your presentation, to explain the sequence of topics, to indicate a presentation structure, to describe how you will conclude your talk. Right, so is that, okay, we'll do this again. Okay, Shirley, so let's see, if I do, I could think we do this again. If I do the first sentence and then you follow me.
Okay.
And then we'll just try how it sounds like. Notice the word divided, divided, so that's a D sound here.
Mm.
Notice that, the D, so that would be an id sound.
Mm.
So hopefully you'll recognize it. It's as we go along. These are just typical things that happen with the ed sound. Right, okay. So good morning. My name's Hector and I'm the recruiting manager of Dorman Engineering.
Good morning. My name's Shirley and I'm the recruiting manager for Dorman Engineering.
I'm glad to see such a good turnout for my presentation this morning.
I'm glad to see such a good turnout for my presentation this morning.
That's kind of like a little bit of, it's optional. Some people will say, thank you for attending at such short notice. I think there's another one we have there further down. I think that sometimes that is said, thank you for coming at such short notice. So yes, that's right. On such short notice, there's another. I'm delighted that so many of you could make it on such short notice. Sometimes that happens if it's a last minute sort of presentation arrangement. So it's flexible as that. Dorman is always keen to attract talented young engineers, and I hope the information I provide today will be useful if you are considering applying for a job with us.
Dorman is always keen to attract talented young engineers, and I hope the information I provide today will be useful if you are considering applying for a job with us.
The presentation is divided into 3 parts, covering different aspects of the company.
The presentation is divided into 3 parts covering different aspects of the company.
Great. In part 1, I'll briefly describe Dorman's mission, its founding, and how it has evolved over the years.
In part 1, I will briefly describe Dorman's mission, its founding, and how it has evolved over the years.
Yes, evolved, are you okay? Evolved, developed, changed, grown, or how it's grown over the years, evolved. Many companies evolve and change. Following this introduction, I will discuss some examples of major projects that Dorman has worked on in part 2.
Following this introduction, I will discuss some examples of major projects that Dorman has worked on in part 2.
Lastly, in part 3, I will conclude by talking about our workplace environment and the professional benefits of becoming a Dorman employee. There will be plenty of time for questions at the end.
Lastly, in part 3, I will conclude by talking about our workplace environment and the professional benefits of becoming a Dorman employee. There will be plenty of time for questions at the end.
There'll be plenty of time for questions at the end. That's brilliant, yes. Any words that you're keen? Have you heard of that word before? Keen,
yeah. Oh. Sensitive.
Yes, Dorman is always keen. Very interested, or always. I'm very keen, very interested, or very focused, or keen. trying to think. Oh, I tell you what we'll do. I'll just sometimes this is what happens. Google Translate can be quite useful for that.
Mm.
Keen.
Mm.
Okay. It depends on the context. Eager. That's another one. So eager, excited,
Mm.
hopeful. I don't know. That's a bit better. But yeah, that's the sort of thing we say. Keen. Are you a keen? Something that you're interested in. So something like you like to do, Shirley. Are you a keen cyclist? Do you like cycling a lot? Or
Actually, bicycle or
bicycle? Yes, that's right. Are you a keen? So somebody that likes to cycle quite often. Are you very sometimes take it quite seriously or regularly, or you're or somebody who or some people say I'm a keen reader, or some like you're a keen follower of something. So you're like very excited to do that. So the Dolman is always keen to attract talent, young engineers. Okay, sure. Any other words that aspects on different areas? Any other words?
we talked about part one, the outline. I don't know how what is how outline.
Outline. Okay. Is that the first one? Sorry, I might have jumped. Right.
Practice one.
Right. Outline. Anyway, yes. Outline. Summary.
Oh.
Outline. Yeah. Outline. General overview. I'm going to make a outline. I'm going to summary. Yeah, the framework, outline, the summarize. I'm going to summarize. You could say it's the outline it's a very useful word, that's outline. If I'm going to outline, I'm going to just explain the basics of it as a summary of everything, but not go into detail. So it's, again, it's before you do a presentation, you want to outline the presentation content. You're obviously not going to go into detail at the beginning, just tell them what you're going to say, and then you tell them, and then you tell them what you have said. Yeah, that's, yeah, just Shirley, have you done a presentation before? Have you ever had to be in a situation where you've presented before? I'm wondering.
When I was university school, then I had a presentation in the class.
Right, right, yes. How did you feel?
Because we were 5 members, a group, so a little nervous.
Yes, right. Well said. Yes, I think everybody feels a bit nervous. When you gave a presentation, did you have to use a PowerPoint slide, something like in the background?
Yeah, we used PowerPoint to presentation.
Yes, for the presentation. Yes, that's true. Anyway, yes, yeah, it's a long time ago, Shirley. Can you remember what the presentation was about? Long time ago.
Maybe it's about historic building or a nature something.
Oh, right. So maybe a historical building. No doubt probably done in Chinese, I would think.
Mm.
Possibly there's something about, yes, that's right. In this case, he's doing obviously he's presenting his company. And this first one, software solution provides email sharing and other communication tools for businesses. And the reason, since your company is planning to purchase and install our software, I will be going through, I'll be explaining everything you need to know about it. So that's the purpose, and I think that's why it's given the objective and what they're going to take away from the presentation. So the idea is that they know why they're there, though they should know this beforehand, really. Yeah, that's so this is just to give you an idea, and we're going to have lots of examples of the breakdown in part 1, part 2, or firstly, I'm going to then second and then third. We tend to, usually 3 segments tends to be enough to cover that. Right, okay. Something we did last week, I remember, I thought maybe just to review, just to have a look at this. What we do is every week there's more dialogue that will be added into this segment, so you build up a much more richer set of examples of how presentation, parts of it are pulled together. So if this was another example here, getting started, you're introducing yourself. So introducing yourself to a mixed group to indicate the subject of a talk. To emphasize means to place focus and the relevance of your topic. So the relevance and emphasis, to emphasize. So really just to back up why you're doing this presentation, to emphasize and relevance. Just say that word there, emphasize.
Emphasize, yeah, know this word.
Right, relevance, that's relevance, yeah. So it's relevant to the topic, great. Good, okay. Right, so let's go through this dialogue practice as well. This is last week's, by the way, Shirley. So, you know, that way you've got an idea from last week and a little bit about this week as well. So this is introducing yourself. So just follow me again, I think, just to practice. So this is introducing yourself to a mixed group. So here we go. So good morning, everyone. I'm delighted that so many of you could make it on short notice.
Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted that so many of you could make it on such short notice.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Hector, the Assistant Director of Appraise Management.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Shirley, the Assistant Director of Appraise Management.
Great, well done. I'm here today to demonstrate how to use our new evaluation system.
I'm here today to demonstrate how to use our new evaluation system.
Right, evaluation.
Oh, evaluation.
Yes, evaluation. Evaluation system. Evaluation, to evaluate something. Evaluate. Evaluates. Evaluate, to assess. Assess. Appraise. Let's call it appraise. Gauge, rate, to analyze. It's really like to check something. I'm sure that in the workplace you're working at, Shirley, there's probably a checking process that the safety of clients, so the system itself is probably I think very important to have the SOP in place, standard operation procedure, isn't it? The SOP that you know that has to be applied. So just standard operation procedure, which I'm sure you have to follow in your line of work with people's health concerns. Right, well done. Evaluation system. Right, so we developed this to provide you with a more powerful and accurate set of tools to appraise, supervise, and assess the performance of the employees you manage.
We develop this to provide you with a more powerful and accurate set of tools to appraise, supervise, and assess the performance of the employees you manage.
Okay, right. So yeah, we'll come back. If there's some words you're not familiar with, we'll just review at the end. So this new system will help you and your staff identify strengths and weaknesses, set clear goals for development, and measure improvement.
This new system will help you and your staff identify strengths and weaknesses, set clear goals for development, and measure improvement.
This talk will be of particular interest to those of you who are leading project teams.
This talk will be of particular interest to those of you who are leading project teams.
The new system includes a section that was specifically created for you.
The new system includes a section that was specifically created for you.
The project team the project team leadership is a special management challenge, and the new system will give you a more powerful way to assess employee performance in a project team context. Okay.
Leadership is a special management challenge, and the new system will give you a more meaningful way to assess employee performance in a project team context.
Well done. Yes, a little bit of a mouthful. Just say this word again, specifically.
Specifically.
Yeah, specifically. It's can be a little tricky. That some word like that, specific, so it's like it's almost like this specific. So it's the is it the yeah, specific. So EC equals ES. Do you know when you look at the word access, Shirley, you know? Yeah, so actually what we say is, don't we? We tend to use the, I hope that's translation all right, sorry. Okay, it is, yeah, anyway, but access, so what happens is that the CE becomes SE, yeah, so CE, access equals SE, and I'm just thinking about, I'm just not sure if that means if it's CI equals SI. I'm going to have to look at that. Special. I think it is. I'll double check that. There's certain word combinations. It's a vowel. It's the vowels, isn't it, when it comes to English? But specifically, we end up saying spec. So there is a, that's why it's old English. So it's spec. So it's actually, that's the way we, but I know that this is an example there where that's why when it becomes a CE, that becomes an SE. That's the thing. It's that comes up there. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right then, Shirley. We've this is just sort of like a sample of what comes up. This again, it's just something that's come. The section of the formats of the presentation classes. You'll get the familiarization of it. And so what happens is that next week, well, what this week is a lot to do with general phrases that you often use. But then next week, how to start or make a presentation more interesting. This probably goes into a little bit more of ways and tools of making a presentation more interesting. There's actually a dialogue as well. So, but this video, yeah, if you've got time, feel free to take a look. It goes through some of the phrases, and so this is just the dialogue of it as well. So these are just some of the basic phrases that are used in remind you of some of the tips that's required of the overview of a presentation. So these are the main segments of a presentation. And just if you're interested, next week it's about story, starting a story. And this is quite interesting. We now look at a dialogue in which we make an interesting way of just telling a story, because we all like stories in a presentation. And so how did it happen? Catches the hook of the audience attention, and we'll have a look at that. And again, the same thing again, beginning, middle, and ending. Look at examples. The challenge of presentation, Shirley, the attention span just drops. The challenge we all have when it comes to 5 minutes, boom, how it goes wrong, how easy it is to then keep it, so capturing their attention with a story to help them go along. And again, from the Cambridge material, this will be part 3, which is using transition effectively. So from one topic to another, to how to integrate, so some dialogue and some key phrases applied into this. Signposting transitions, meaning one slide to another as you're explaining. So 2 things really about storytelling, an example of that, and then how you transfer from slide to slide. And again, it's reviewing, outlining your talk. What we've done today is just an overview of breaking down the different dialogues of part 1, 2, and 3. So really today is more about just outlining the idea of the structure of your presentation, part 1, 2, and 3. So hopefully those dialogues are useful. And next week we'll look at the dialogue of signposting and going through the examples that's applied in this first case scenario of a storytelling. So quite interesting, a lot to do, but it's just, again, we'll work around your time if you like to join, Shirley. And it's very flexible. Hopefully it'll be something you can pick up when you've got time as well. Right, Shirley, okay, well, enjoy your rest of your Dragon Boat day. Hopefully we'll figure out some of these zongzas. I have no idea what they are, but maybe we'll further find out how to make them as well. I'm interested as well. However, Shirley, I shall leave it here for now. And Stephanie's up next with an interesting one on, I think it's about some very rich person building a backyard pool. Quite interesting what feature he's got. So feel free to join if you have time. Okay, Shirley. All right. Hopefully helpful. I'll share that ED into the WhatsApp group afterwards. So maybe download that chart, and hopefully that will help awareness of the ED side as well. All right, Shirley. Have a great evening. Okay. Okay. Take care.
Bye.